Okay, good evening, everyone. So, we will today we have a distinguished guest from Belgium, Dr. Ashutosh Agarwal, to talk about energy storage materials for electric vehicles. So, Dr. Ashutosh, he is Dr. Ashutosh. He is basically from Indore. Okay. So he have specialized in energy storage materials from IIT Kharagpur. He finished his PhD from IIT Kharagpur, and then after that he is now doing his postdoctoral research in a Horizon 2020 European scholarship in Hasselt University, Belgium. He have published several papers in the area of energy storage materials. He studied his masters in NIT Calicut, specialized in nanotechnology. He have several publications and filed several patents also. So I welcome all the students, first year students and faculties who presented in this meeting, and I will hand over the session uh, to Dr. Ashutosh to take over from here. So I invite Ashutosh to deliver his talk. Sir, please.
Good morning. Good morning, everybody. I am going to give the presentation as Sajid had told me. Yeah, okay.
Yes, yes, it is. We can see
Okay,
it's clear.
fine.
Everything is
Now,
fine.
okay, fine. Okay, sure. Now, okay, I'll give a small talk on this energy storage for electric vehicles. So everybody knows about electric vehicles. It's now every day in news. So let us let us understand a little bit about it. So mostly you must be knowing battery is like mostly a chemistry, but it's not just the chemistry. It's also about how we manufacture the battery, but and it's also an issue with thermal management. So you can say like manufacturing and thermal management is like 50% of the battery, and rest 50% is the chemistry. So, so when it comes to lithium ion batteries, there are four important parts. Uh, four important parts, which are active parts. Like we have uh, uh, anode, cathode. This is anode. We have cathode. We have separator. You can see this dark part, separator, and electrolyte. Electrolyte. Okay. We have four parts. Mm. And during charge and discharge, lithium ion will move from while charging. Lithium ion will move from cathode to anode and discharging anode to cathode. And the electrons will flow from outside of the battery, and we can use this electron for our applications. Even for our electric vehicles or mobiles, we use
Uh,
electrons. So ions will travel
sir,
inside.
we have Ashutosh, doctor.
Yeah.
The sound is not clear. Can
Okay. Okay.
you?
Yeah. Yes. Okay. Okay. Sure. Okay. Okay.
Okay, okay. Can you adjust? Okay, sorry.
Yes. Guys, it's clear now.
Yes, yes,
Hello.
yes. It is okay now.
Yeah. 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 Okay. So okay. Now coming to as I was telling, like lithium ion battery is not just chemistry, okay? It's also about how we manufacture the battery, and there are a lot of techniques you can manufacture it, and also there is thermal management is also there. So 50% is chemistry and 50% is manufacturing and thermal management. When we come to the chemistry part, basically the active parts where the energy is stored. So there are four major parts: anode, cathode, separator. Separator is there to avoid any short circuit between anode and cathode. Basically, it's some kind of polymer separator. And electrolyte. Electrolyte is to help ions to travel from anode to cathode. Okay. Now, as you can see, everybody knows this thing that electric vehicle is costlier. It's more expensive as compared to the petrol and diesel vehicles. It may vary from 20% more expensive to
maybe it may be sometime double the cost of electric vehicles. And you can see the range also. There is a problem with the range also. And electric vehicles has a lower range. If you compare any model, you will see the electric vehicles has lower range as compared to the petrol or diesel vehicles. And also time to refuel. Matlab, if you charge the electric vehicles, it will take a minimum 30 minutes to few hours. And for petrol and diesel vehicle, you can refuel within few minutes. There are many disadvantages with electric vehicles. Then why so much? Why every company in the world is trying to go after electric vehicles? One advantage with electric vehicles is what is the cost of running? Cost of running is nearly less than 50%. You can see here the average price per liter. We can say like for 15,000 kilometer per year. So we have calculated the price. So you can see it's less than 50% of what you will pay for petrol or diesel vehicle. But uh, but operation cost, less operation cost is not enough reason we should go for electric vehicles. There is also one big advantage with electric vehicles. You can see here when you're going for petrol or diesel cars, and this is for grid base, like electric vehicles powered by grid, and the grid is from coal powered coal plants, and electric vehicles from renewables like solar or wind. You can see here, if you are going for electric vehicles with grid power, that is coal plants, coal, you can see you can reduce the emissions, CO2, NOx emissions by more than nearly 70%. You can reduce the emission. And if you are going for electric vehicles with renewables, you can nearly 100% you can reduce the emissions. You can see the great advantage in the environment also. But again, this is not enough. We can go for electric vehicles. We need more advantage. Okay. So one thing we know that electric vehicles is costlier as compared to the petrol and diesel engines, and we have to reduce the cost. That is for CO cost. Basically, it is kilowatt hour. This is energy. So cost per energy we have to reduce, and we know that for electric vehicles, nearly 40 to 50% of cost comes from the battery. So when you're buying the electric vehicles, you are paying the nearly 40 to 50% of the amount for the just for battery. And we want energy per kg, that is, we want to store more energy in the small area, small space. So we to increase the range of the car, we want to add more energy in the same space of the battery, and we want more power. We have more power, we can take higher speed, you can have a good pickup and good speed. So these are three important things when we are coming to battery for the electric vehicles. Now, as you can see, we know there are many technologies like lead acid, nickel cadmium, lithium ion, and this is lithium metal. Currently, we are working on lithium metal batteries. Why we are not going for lead acid for electric vehicles? You can see there is very less energy density. Like you can see, even power is less. Means for same kind of energy from what we are getting from lithium ion, we will need nearly three times bigger size lead acid batteries. So you see, we don't have this much space in the electric vehicles. As compared to lithium ion, we need nearly three times bigger size batteries for lead acid. So we are going for lithium ion batteries. And next is lithium metal batteries. You can see specific energy. It should hold more energy per kg, as well as it should deliver more power per kg. When we talk about power, basically we mean it should able to deliver more current. So you can see uh, equipments which require higher power, like drilling machine, will require more current, will require 50 amps, and the clock, like wall clock, will require few milliamps, will require less power. We need batteries. We can give hundreds of amps of current, so we can run our cars. We know there are three problems with the electric vehicles. One is the cost, other is the range, and third is the charging station charging. First is cost. Now you can see the cost of the battery is decreasing every year, and every year is decreasing. So after few years, maybe next year or few years, Our cost of the electric vehicles will come at par with our petrol and diesel cars. Other is densities. Now we are talking about reducing the size. Now every year you can see we are able to reduce the we are able to pack more energy in the small area. That is watt per kg, watt hour per kg. So there is the improvement in this area also. And this is cost of ownership. You can see here, this is a dash line. This line shows the cost of ownership, and this is the line cost of ownership of electric vehicles, and this is cost of ownership of electric vehicles with subsidy, government subsidy. And you can, and this is the cost of ownership for petrol and diesel car. And you can see it's predicted in 2024 the cost of ownership for the electric vehicles without subsidy and our diesel and petrol car will become equal in 2024. And yeah, sorry, this is without subsidy. This is with subsidy. Yeah, okay. And with subsidy, we can the cost of ownership of the electric vehicles and the petrol diesel car will become equal in nearly about 2021. And you can see presently the market share of the electric vehicles is near to 1% to 2%. We are here, it's nearly 1 to 2% of market share electric vehicles. And by 2030, we will be covering 20% of the market. Electric vehicles will cover 20% of the market. And you know, in 2015, it may happen, it may cover 50% of the market. Now, what is the concerns with electric vehicles? We know so they are with different countries. So you can see what are different concerns. Here is the driving range, there is a cost, and there is charging infrastructure, time required to charge, safety concerns. So we can see these are three major concerns, or we can say four major concerns. One is driving range. Driving of electric vehicle will go like 300 kilometers, 400 kilometers, and you will not get a charging station, and it's a big problem. You know, cost is already high, and charging infrastructure because one problem is like it takes minimum half an hour to few hours to charge electric vehicles. So you need more charging stations as compared to the petrol and diesel pumps. So you can see, and not just more, we need many times more charging infrastructure as compared to the regular petroleum charging fueling stations. So what can be the charging infrastructure solutions? So one such solutions can be charging points at existing petrol and diesel pump. This is not a viable solution as we know. If we add a charging points at existing petrol or diesel pumps, so we are planning to lakhs of electric vehicles in every city. And charging electric vehicles will take minimum half an hour if we have a fast charger, and will take up to few hours, but we cannot hold many cars and many two-wheelers or three-wheeler and four-wheelers also in the present. We need some it's not a good solution, and there is also one solution called battery swap stations where a vehicle can come and we can swap the battery. We can take out the discharge battery from the vehicle, and we can put a new charge battery inside the vehicle. For two-wheeler and three-wheeler, it's a good solution as in the two-wheeler and three-wheeler, battery sizes are small, so we can pull out the battery and replace it. But for the four-wheeler, battery size is quite big, and plus every vehicle manufacturer is a different kind of battery, different chemistry, different manufacturing style, everything different, and it's very different. It's difficult to swap one battery with another battery, and the battery required by each vehicle is different. Now, can we have a dedicated battery charging stations? Now, if we have a dedicated battery charging stations, now we are talking about lakhs of cars and lakhs of bikes in every city. Now, how much charging stations we will be needing? Considering each vehicle will need near to hour to charge. So it's like we will need many thousands of charging stations. So we know the best solutions can come from the parking infrastructure. We have to build a parking infrastructure in India. We know like, we have very poor parking infrastructure. If we build a proper parking infrastructure with charging facility, if you go and just park there and they have charging facility there only with parking, we can solve this problem. we don't have to build a separate charging station, but we have to build an parking infrastructure with where we can park some hundred to some thousands of vehicles at one place, and they can charge together. Now, when we are talking about lithium-ion battery, we need lithium to make an lithium-ion battery. So you see, if you see the top 10 countries where lithium reserves are there, you can see India is not there. It's mostly in South America or Australia. India is not there. Means if you are switching to lithium-ion battery, we have to import the lithium. Presently, we are importing the petroleum. Again, we will importing the lithium. So there are alternate technologies also like sodium-ion batteries. And for sodium-ion batteries, we know salt, uh, NaCl, Na is sodium. So sodium is abundant in the earth crust, and if we are going for sodium, again we can reduce the cost of the battery. Similarly, there are other kind of technologies which can replace lithium-ion battery in the future. Now we are coming to manufacturing process. Now you can see there are several steps are involved in the manufacturing. Now you can see there's mixing, coating and drying, calendering. Basically, you can see cutting, slitting, stacking, and uh, there are many other manufacturing steps are involved. And every steps can be improved, optimized, and even every steps include the cost. You can decrease the cost at every step. For example, like coating and drying. Drying means we are doing a wet coating. We are first mixing our active material into some kind of liquid, then we are doing coating. To instead of going for this, we can also try to do dry coating, where we have done some surface modification of the material. Like suppose we are using aluminum or copper, we can do some surface modification on the aluminum and copper, and we can do some kind of dry coating, where we can remove this mixing step and drying step, and we can save lot of cost there. Similar kind of improvement can be done at every step, at every kind of manufacturing steps. And like we can reduce the battery cost, nearly 30-40% improvement, reduction in cost we can do just by improving our manufacturing styles, manufacturing improvements. Thermal management and safety. And when we are going for the electric vehicles, we are not going to use one cell. We are going to use the pack of cell. One pack, you can see the this, hollow holes are there. Every so every pack will consist of hundreds, maybe thousands of cells. When you're going to make a pack, we need a structure stability. The whole we are making an structure, big structure, big pack, battery pack, where a battery pack have hundreds to thousands of cells. Structure stability means it should hold the impact of the driving. It should hold the impact of the thermal. There will stress induced by temperature. You can see the thermal gradient is there. It's not uniform everywhere. Temperature will not be uniform everywhere, and due to ununiform temperature, there will be stress generated within the battery structure and also in the battery pack, which can damage the whole battery. And thermal management, what kind of how we manage the temperature so it is uniform, and it is. And one thing is there, battery is like a human body. It's like an average climate temperature, like 28, 29. If it is below 20, its performance will decrease. It is above 40 degrees, its performance will decrease. It's like our human body. It's just like an average near 30 degrees C. So when we make for battery packs, structure stability and temperature thermal management is very, very important. Otherwise, it can create some big accidents. When you're going to future focuses, now what should be our future focus? So manufacturing technology is one of the future focus. A lot of battery manufacturing is coming to India. Lots of units are going to come, and already some have already started. So at every now we batteries now we have to compete with at the global level. At every manufacturing step, there are many manufacturing, coating, welding, calendering, process packing. At every step, there can be number of improvement can be done at the manufacturing technologies. Battery recycling, and when we put a battery in an electric vehicle, it will last for 10 years to average is 10 years, or sometimes new batteries are coming. It will go for 15 years also. And so this is going to create a big problem as well as opportunity also, because uh, our aim should be like for new materials, from 10 years from now, from 20 years from now, most of the battery materials should come from the recycled battery recycling. We should not use our ores, or we should not import the raw materials from outside. Battery recycling can be a very big advantage and opportunity, as well as if you are not going for battery recycling, it can be a very hazardous to the environment also. Thermal management. Thermal management, again, battery performance, if we not able to do thermal management, is like an bomb. Well, it can blast if crosses certain temperature, it will produce side reactions will happen, it will produce some gases, and it can battery can blast. You have might have heard of Samsung, some Note 7 and other kind of batteries which have blast, and you might have seen many videos also, pictures also, where batteries have blast. So it can, so thermal management is very, very important for a well functioning of the battery. And more improvement, the how much important we can do, it is less. We can new battery materials. Even as I told you, like sodium ion battery is a new battery technology, aluminum ion battery, and there are magnesium ion battery, calcium ion battery. There are different kinds of batteries people are exploring. This is also a very good opportunity to explore. So you can see you guys have a lot of future scopes, and and also battery pack design. Battery pack design, when you're going to do an electric vehicles, you are not going to use a single cell. You're going to use in hundreds of some thousands of cells packed together, and that battery pack should have structure stability as well as good thermal management. And when we're going for battery pack design, so where do you keep the battery? Matlab, if you design a vehicle, the battery whole design of the vehicle, battery designing uh, is very important. You can see you guys have a lot of scopes in this. So this was a short presentation. I will, okay, the short presentation. So if you have any questions, you can ask.
Thank you, Ashutosh sir, for your
Uh,
very short and informative presentation. So you
uh,
discuss about the batteries, the energy store electric vehicles, the materials that
uh,
can possible to use as energy storage. So so this session is now open for discussion. The students
okay.
can ask
Yeah, yeah.
questions.
Sure, sure, sure.
Uh, so everyone, these are first year students, sir.
Yeah,
So
yeah,
let
yeah.
them have
Sure.
an active
Yeah,
interaction
yeah,
with
sure,
you.
sure, 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 sure.
Okay, so one question, one student.
Yeah.
Uh,
Uh,
sir, is compressed air used for energy storage in electric vehicles?
no, no, compressed air is not used. Okay, because we are talking about like high energy density. It's like we are talking about some thousands of kilowatt hour. Compressed air will not do it.
Comparatively, the cost of electric vehicle is increasing as compared to vehicle running with petrol.
Uh, no, actually, cost you if uh, no, actually, it's not completely true. So you might be finding it's increasing because they are using the better batteries. Like earlier, they were using the battery with range of something like 100 kilometers. Now, if you see in the market, the electric vehicles are coming with minimum about 300 kilometers. Basically, they have increased the battery capacity, because with 100 kilometers no one is going to buy the electric vehicles. So with uh, so basically actually the cost of battery is reducing, but the electric vehicle manufacturers are putting uh, batteries with higher capacities, which is due to which some cost is increasing, but uh, eventually the cost of the battery as compared to petrol is decreasing, and in few years you will see that it has become par with the petrol vehicles. Yes.
Uh, okay, I hope Balachandran's doubt is clear. Now we have another question. Tesla Megapack batteries from Suhail. Uh,
Can you clarify the? Can you expand the question? Can you?
Suhail, can you expand the question? Are you asking whether about the specific Tesla Megapack batteries or
Mega pack batteries basically Tesla they are making for standalone solutions, not for electric vehicles. Uh, what is the actually for wind power station and solar power stations you need an battery storage because you need what kind of energy using Tesla battery? Okay, like it's not what kind of energy is not used in Tesla battery. What kind of chemistry you can say? What kind of materials is used in the Tesla batteries? You can say in that way. Oh, okay. And in the Tesla batteries, if you see, so Tesla is not the main manufacturer of the Tesla batteries. Basically, it is Panasonic, and some part of it is LG. And they are based on lithium cobalt oxide, nickel magnesium oxide, and lithium iron phosphate. Different kind of chemistries can be used for different applications. For like suppose like your like batteries can are used for electric vehicles, and batteries are also used for the if you see mega backs storing the energy for the power plants wind power. You don't have the constraint, so there you can use an lithium iron phosphate. Different kind of chemistries are used for different applications.
okay, doctor, sir, what is the future of these electric vehicles in India? When these electric vehicles will be more, like electric cars will be available?
The present problems are most of the batteries we are using in India are being imported.
Okay.
Okay, most is actually all the batteries being in India are imported, and we don't have some reserves like lithium reserves. We don't have. So,
Okay, okay.
for next, I don't think for next 10 years we are going to see any major breakthrough. And one of the big problem is that we don't have charging facilities in India. For charging facility, we need a better parking facility, basically parking infrastructure, because mostly we don't have. If you go to an office and or in the market, we will parking on the road. We will not have. So we need a better parking infrastructure. Then people can easily adopt the electric vehicles, and then we can have a better manufacturing facilities of batteries in India. Here question is does
Yes. Does electric vehicles cause any kind of pollution? One
okay.
question from Anand.
There are two sides of it. One is when you're charging the batteries, so where does that energy come from? Either energy come from the coal-based power plant. When the energy is coming from coal-based power plant, so we know that coal-based power plants does pollution. So although in the city we are able to reduce this pollution, the coal-based power plant is doing the pollution. So in the long term, the plan is goal should be we should move towards the renewable energies. So if I'm going to renewable energies like solar and wind, so we are can reduce the pollution at the power plant level also. And the second point is at the when we have to dispose the battery after whatever after 10 years of use, after disposal, if you don't have the proper recycling technology or proper recycling facility, we will be damaging the environment. So this is the two sides of the pollution we can see, and we have to solve it. Possibly solar energy in the electric bus. One guy, Fadil asking possibilities of using solar energy in electric bus. Basically, uh, solar you can generate some energy, but you know, for driving a bus, you need a good amount of power. You can use solar energy to store the energy, or store the energy, then you can charge the battery, but not at runtime. You can use the solar to just run the bus, or you can use the solar just to charge the battery which is in the bus, which can increase some range of the bus. You can say like that. Suppose the battery with only battery we are able to drive the electric bus to 100 kilometers. With solar powered bus you can drive to some 120 kilometers, something like that. Okay, energy storage. EV is must for India. One thing is very clear, like uh, either we have to get success in renewable energy. For we know renewable energy, wind or solar, they don't produce energy 24 hours. Solar will produce in the days only, and wind will produce energy during the wind only. So we have and the point is that the when solar is producing energy during the day, we will not be able to use 100% of energy during the day. So we need a proper storage system for these power plants. And and for EVs, when we are coming to electric vehicles, we know for all the petroleum we are importing. So it's a best for us, as well as we need the pollution in the cities. For best for our economy as well as the controlling the pollution, we have to move in electric vehicles. And electric vehicles we can't move by force. Obviously, the cost of electric vehicles have to come down, and I'm very sure within 2 to 3 years the cost of electric vehicles will be equal to the your petrol and diesel car. One guy asked, "What do you think? Which one is better, petrol car or Tesla cars?" Tesla cars, if you Tesla cars is not there's a Tesla cars. I think the cheapest one is something like $35,000 or $40,000. If you can afford Tesla cars, it is very fine and good. Okay. Okay. Um, Obviously, petrol car will come start from some 5 6 lakh or 10 lakhs. Will get petrol car, but Tesla cars are is not for common people till now. In future, they have plans to cover. Okay, for travel is fine. If you have a proper charging infrastructure, you can go for the Tesla cars. Okay. At- Okay. Uh, okay, one guy has asked that like charging for the EV is more as compared to filling the petrol or diesel car. Obviously, um, the solution is twofold. Like we can't have like we should not see our filling station, like petrol or diesel filling pumps. We should not compare with that, because for electric vehicles we need entirely different solution. We cannot have charging stations and we go to the charging station and plug our car and wait for some hour. Okay, it will get charged and we will. It's not a good solution. What is the better solution is, instead of having a separate charging station, we should have an parking stations, or we can have a parking infrastructure with charging stations. So suppose you go to the office, you park the car in the office, and charging point is there only. Or if you go to some restaurant, there is charging point. If you go to the hotel, there is charging point. If you go to the market, there is a parking infrastructure in the marketplace, and you park your car there, and you can charge there. So government or even private players should plan in that way to have an charging stations at the parking points, and we should have a very good parking infrastructure, and we should think in that terms, not in the separate charging stations. Okay. Okay, one guy has asked, petrol cars have a cars have a possible future. One guy has, does any petrol car have any future? So I don't think so. In coming 20, 30 years, there will be very few petrol cars for you can keep if you want to, but I don't think there will be any big manufacturers manufacturing the petrol cars. One guy asks, does electric vehicle have the power as much as petrol car? Obviously, the power of the electric vehicles is limited by the battery. The better battery we use, the better power we will have. It's that simple. So every year we are able to increase the power of the battery, and we can have better power than the petrol car. Even you can see the Tesla series of the car Roadster and Model 3, they are their power is better than many of the BMW and Ferraris. Uh, uh, till now battery charging procedure is not customer friendly. Yes, I am 100 agree with you. Till now battery charging facilities in India, at least in India, is not customer friendly. There is a chance of battery explosion if there is not proper thermal management has been done. With proper thermal management, it is safer than a petrol car, and that's it. There is no chance of electric shocks, but there is chance of battery explosion. But with thermal management, it's much better than the petrol car. Uh, yeah. Obviously, obviously, people still buy electric vehicles and sorry, people still buy petrol vehicles than electric vehicles. Obviously, there are three issues as we have discussed already. The cost of electric vehicle is still higher. Second is range of the electric vehicles. You are not sure you will get the charging stations or not. Where you will charge? That is anxiety is there. This is range anxiety. So this issues has to be solved. And without this uh, charging infrastructure, or you can say parking infrastructure with charging, you cannot. We should not buy electric vehicles, or you should. Uh, Somebody should, either private players or the government should plan some uh, some every city should have some thousands of charging stations, or we can say parking spaces with charging stations. Then only it will be more comfortable to buy electric vehicles. So when we have when we have some thousands of, when we don't have to think about charging our electric vehicles, oh, we are 100% sure, okay, we can go to the office, we can charge, we can go to the market, we can charge our electric vehicles. We don't, if we don't have a range anxiety, then obviously the number of sales will cross the limits as compared to petrol diesel car.
Uh, Sir,
Yeah.
what about the manufacturing of this materials, battery materials? Is the
Um,
conventional process, is there any advancements we can expect in the future, or for high storage capacity, or can you talk about a little bit about that?
yeah. Uh, Basically, uh, when you come to the battery materials, so the anyhow, we use four different materials which plays a crucial role. In this four crucial materials, the main active material is anode and cathode. So every year, in terms of the cost and in terms of the energy and power storage, these two plays the major role. And both the sides, in anodes also, till now most of the batteries they are using graphite or carbon, some kind of carbon based material as an anode, and we know it. Like if you go for the silicon, we can increase our battery capacity in this per kg, or can say per volume, many times. We know that there are some challenges as well, because when battery materials goes under expansion and contraction, because lithium will go and come out. So proper designing of the material is also important. Like now we are working on lithium metal batteries. Like we will be removing the anode totally, and we will just have a very thin thin coating of lithium metal, and we can run the battery, which will increase the battery density, like you can twice the battery densities. And in cathode also there are many kind of like many research is going on toward cobalt free cathode. Now apparently most of the cathode, if you see, they are cobalt based, lithium cobalt oxide or some kind of nickel magnesium cobalt, some kind of cobalt based batteries. And cobalt we know is the one of the expensive material. So people are trying to move away from the cobalt to the nickel or some kind of iron phosphate or or manganese based cathode materials, which is able to reduce the cost of the battery. We can see like many kind of research is doing on the materials side also, and also the electrolyte. We generally most of the batteries in the market today are using polymer electrolytes. Basically, they are liquid based electrolytes. Now the next move is toward the solid based electrolyte. In the solid based electrolyte, they like the battery explosion, that case of battery going to blast, that problem will be solved. And second is, now we will able to improve the life of the battery many times, and also the density of energy. So these are three kind of areas in the materials: this anode side, cathode side, and this and the electrode side, electrolyte side. Three kind of material research is being done on the battery.
Okay, thank you. It's very clear. So, is solid state electrolyte based batteries flexible kind of batteries? I have heard it is available in market now.
No, no. Actually, the market which is available, there are polymer-based batteries. They are not exactly solid state, because polymer, there is an actually polymer is basically semi-solid. It's a gel kind of battery. Gel is there. Gel is there. And solid state, we are moving. Basically, you don't need much flexible battery also, because because there are many ways to manufacture the battery. Like if you're going for the cylindrical shape of the battery, you need a flexible battery. But if you need an like pouch cell battery, you don't need much flexibility in the separator. You don't need much flexibility in the battery. So without much flexibility, also you can manufacture. So basic idea behind the solid state is like how to increase the energy density and power density of the batteries. So and at the without increasing the cost. So this is the major idea behind the solid state battery.
Okay, thank you. So, some students have some questions more, I think. Suhail, which one is more expensive to produce, energy from grids or energy from renewable sources?
As we have seen in recent times, like the price of solar cells, you can see has come drastically down. I think it's now nearly equal. I think still, the problem is that people might ask, the prices of solar power plants have come down, then why still we have coal-based power plants? So, one of the reason is so already we have invested in coal-based power plants, and they have life for some 10 years, some 15 years, and to make our solar power plants, we it's also time. So we are moving towards the solar-based power plant, renewables-based power plant, and if you see across the world, the new power plants, the majority of the new power plants are renewables only. So I don't think much there's much difference in the now grid-based and renewable-based power plant. I think it's nearly I think it's a parity has come.
Okay, another question. Can I charge electric car in the rain? Is there any chance of accidents? Adnan Naushad.
Uh, Obviously, you can charge electric cars in the rain. Uh, okay, and it's up to the manufacturer. If they do some manufacturing defaults during the manufacturing, then obviously, then you have to do some case on the manufacturer. File some. Okay.
Okay, so another question is Anandu, sir, is there any chance of making electric racing car?
Already there are some racing cars. I think even there are some electric racing cars. Obviously, you can make it. Obviously, it's basically how much this electric car, when you're making a racing car, basically you need a high power density. Power density, you need have to withdraw high amount of current from the battery. simple as that. So you have to design, you have to select certain batteries. You can obviously make the racing cars with the battery. Even there is some kind of electric racing car competitions also. You can see online also. You find something. Yeah.
Okay, so any more questions? We are almost 15 minutes, 10:50 now. So, okay, I think the doubts are clear. If any doubts need more clarity, you can ask now with Dr. Ashutosh sir. Please feel free to interact. Okay, I think no more questions there. All the doubts you cleared.
Okay.
Dr. Ashutosh,
Okay.
I thank in the name of Department
Okay.
of Mechanical
Oh,
Engineering,
thank
KME
you.
Engineering College, for sharing your knowledge
Okay.
and spending time with us. Sorry to disturb you in the early morning. I know in the Belgium it is time is 6:30 or
Uh,
7. Okay, so waking up in the early morning and spending time with
yeah,
our
yeah.
students. Thank you from personally and also in the name of Department of Mechanical
Thank you.
Engineering.
Thank you. So very nice to give a talk.
So
I also like it. I also enjoyed it actually. Hmm.
okay. Okay, then see you all. Thank you for listening. Thank you, students, for listening, actively participating, and asking, clearing your doubts and all. So, thank you, everyone, for making this webinar successful.
Okay. Thank you very much. Okay.